What's up, guys? Thank you for joining me. Well, I'm really excited for this one because one of my friend is joining us today, as I told you in the previous video. So let's just not waste any more time and just get straight into the video. So before my friend joins us, I would like to give you some details what this video is actually about. I study in the United States and currently I'm in my hometown in India. I came back on 16th of March due to the pandemic that happened and is still going on. And within the 4 days after I came back, the government announced that all the international flights are cancelled. So some of my friends were still stranded back in the university. So it's been almost a month. Air India started the scheme of VANDE BHARAT, and we gave a really special thanks to Air India as well for starting up this mission. And through this mission itself, my friend came back on 9th of June, and he is gonna be joining us today, sharing his experiences from the beginning to the end at the hotel. So let me just add him. Hi Chirag, what's up?
Hey Nihan, I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm doing good, buddy. When did you reach Mumbai?
I reached Mumbai on 9th of June.
Okay. So how was journey?
So my overall journey was of 44 hours and I had 2 layovers at 2 different airports. And I had also forgot to carry any food. So my journey was pretty tiring.
Oh, okay. So let's just start from the beginning. So where did you first fly from?
So my original flight was from, like, you also know that originally we fly from Buffalo to Newark, but this time due to Corona, I had to go to Chicago, and which is west, and from Chicago I had to go to Newark, which is east. So it was around 5 to 6 hours journey, just to go to Newark.
That just took your journey from like a 45-minute flight or a 1 hour flight to like a 6 hour journey.
Yep, including 2 hour layover at Chicago airport.
Oh, so that was all just due to the coronavirus.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so you first flew from Buffalo to Chicago. I mean, like, how was it flying within the states?
Within the states, overall I'll suggest travel only travel if there is an emergency.
Right.
Like there are precautionary measures taken by the government, or the airport industry, I don't know, but there are like precautionary measures, like for example on airport seats there are alternate seats marked just so to promote social distancing. And in planes, like for example in my plane from Buffalo to Chicago, my seat beside me was empty. So I think that was because of to promote social distancing. And also while entering the plane, they also gave us some hand sanitizers. And if we were not wearing the masks, in some places it wasn't allowed to enter, like in the airport. But in case we are boarding a plane and we don't have a mask, they used to provide us a mask.
Okay, so
a simple cotton.
They had the same sitting arrangement in the Chicago airport as well?
Yes.
Okay, so you mean to say, like, if there are like 4 quads, like a quad seating arrangement, so 2 of the seats will be like alternate seat will be empty.
Yeah, there was some kind of a tape which was put diagonally on the seats, so people won't sit on that.
Okay. So how many layovers did you totally have? Like 2 as
I had 2 layovers.
2 layovers, right? Okay. So after all, obviously you flew within the states from Buffalo to Chicago, and then from Chicago to Newark. Sorry. So how was the Newark International Airport? I mean, did you see any changes before how it was before the pandemic and after the pandemic?
This time, like, first of all, I had a 12-hour layover at Newark Airport. So, and my boarding didn't start till 5, I guess. So I reached at around 12. So I had some time to pass. So mostly, what?
12 in the afternoon.
Yes, 12 in the afternoon.
Okay, and you had a flight at 12 at like midnight.
Yes.
Okay, so you had a 12 hours layover. Okay.
Yeah. So at the Newark airport, most of the shops were closed due to coronavirus, obviously.
Right.
The only shop which was open was Starbucks, and for that also there was a long line because obviously other shops were closed. And again, there were hand sanitizer stations at the airport, and security check was pretty normal. Once I went inside, there was one more coffee shop at my terminal, and that was also the only place which was open in that terminal. So it also had a long line, and the only thing which was available at that coffee shop was just coffee and food, and they were out of food and water.
Okay, so basically, I think you told in the beginning as well that you did not carry any food.
Yeah.
And you did not get anything to eat as well in the Newark airport. So how did you survive? I mean, how did you pass your time?
So once I realized that I forgot to carry any food. Luckily, there was some kind of a small grocery store which was open at Buffalo Airport. So I bought a can of Pringles, and I was surviving on that.
You survived 12 hours on a can of Pringles.
and two cups of coffee.
Oh damn! Okay. So then, after all that happened in the Newark airport, you boarded the flight, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how was it? How was it while you were boarding? Like that's the final flight that you have to take coming back to India, right?
Yes. So I was really happy that I finally somehow made it till that time. So once they started boarding, they started first of all, they started calling out the numbers, which like the overall aircraft structure was 3, 3, and 3. Okay. So they were calling people who were seated in the middle row, and those who were, and in this case, because it was an evacuation flight, no one was seats were not kept empty. So due to that, coronavirus cases may increase, or someone who is infected may infect others. So to prevent that, they had given PPE suits to whoever were in the middle of the seats, like 333. So the middle person was wearing the PPE suit.
Middle of each threes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then for us, it was like the air hostess and the stewards were obviously wearing protective gear from top to bottom, and they were also wearing goggles. And for us, there was sanitizer, extra pair of masks given, and also face shield, which covers our face and protects. Yeah.
Okay. So when did you reach Mumbai? Like what time?
What time? So I reached Mumbai at 12 a.m. in the morning.
Okay, 12 a.m. at next day.
Yes.
Okay.
Next.
So how was the overall situation there?
So at Mumbai airport, it was as if a zombie breakout had happened. For example,
You can come zombie breakout. I won't say anything.
Yes. So, for example, the duty free, which used to be full of people and life, it was closed.
Right.
What?
The duty free after the immigration counter.
Yes. So I'll get to immigration afterwards. So duty free, which was full of life and full of people, and all shiny stuff was there. This time, all the products were covered in some in plastic, so people won't touch it, and lights were out. So I had to walk a dark pathway just to get outside the airport.
Oh.
And
okay, so the lights were off as well in the duty free area.
Yes, I think so. They had done that to prevent cost of electricity, I guess.
Maybe.
Cut the cost of electricity.
Time, obviously. As far as I remember, when I came back in March, right? So I remember that the immigration counter was completely closed. There was two counters at the extreme end that were open. So what about the immigration counters these days when you were traveling?
So overall, first of all, as we were leaving the flight, 10 minutes before arrival, they had given us some forms which we had to fill out. And then after we fill out, we there is a long pathway, till the immigration counter. Right. So before that, they took our body temperature using that some kind of thermal gun. And they also took that forms and gave us some Xerox copy of that. They also told us to download Arogya Setu app. And after that, we went for what?
Arogya Setu app is like that the compulsion if you enter in India?
Yes, it's compulsory. Like literally, there was a long line for that.
Okay, just for downloading an app.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah.
So that is funny. So for me, so after that there was immigration, and in immigration, social distancing. Like they didn't tell us to maintain social distancing, but everyone was following it just in case.
Okay.
And I think that's it. In immigration, they also took the Xerox copy of that form. So and that was because I guess they wanted to know where we are going.
Okay.
In like because after Mumbai, people are going to get scattered everywhere, right? So they need to know where everyone is going.
Okay.
So that's it.
Right. Okay, then so what about after the immigration when you actually left? What about how did you collect your baggages? Was it any different?
This time the baggage was already kept aside. Like it wasn't on the baggage collecting station. It was already picked up and kept aside. So we have to. There was like a huge line of suitcases, and I had to go through all of them to find mine. So I don't know why did they do that, but it was there. And after that, they scanned our baggage once again, like the hand baggage. They scanned the hand baggage once again, and after that, since everyone was going to get scattered everywhere, there were some kind of bus booth stations which took people at their respective city. Like right. For example, I am from Pune, so there were cities like I don't know, nearby places like Solapur, Pune, nearby places from Mumbai. So there was Pune, Solapur. I guess Nashik was also there. I don't know, but there were places like that, and there I had to go
close to Mumbai, like the region, so that they can actually accommodate you to your cities.
Yes.
Okay, so the flight was from Nevak to Mumbai, that's it?
Yes, my flight was from Nevak to Mumbai, but the original flight was from Nevak to Mumbai to Ahmedabad.
Okay, to Ahmedabad. So obviously there might be some people and a group of people who are from Ahmedabad, right? So they went there.
Yeah, they were told to be seated in the plane.
Okay, so how many, like approximately how much of the plane got empty in Mumbai?
I think 3/4 of the plane got empty in Mumbai because Mumbai is obviously like a main destination for many people. So I guess the 3/4 of the plane got emptied at the Mumbai airport.
Okay, so the government basically arranged that bus booths for you guys for you guys to go to different cities, right?
Yes. So after I had to register for my bus, so like they took down my number. And I guess I had to show them my passport number and my Aadhaar card. No, Aadhaar card wasn't important, but passport was important. So once they took down my name, they told me to go and sit in the place which was beneath the booth. And there again I had to go, and there were a few policemen who took down the names of the people who were going to going to the cities. Like for example, I am from Pune, so there was a policeman holding the card of the people card which had names of the people who are going to Pune. And since I guess a normal bus capacity is of 50, so to promote social distancing in my case, so they had kept it to 25 just to keep the seat next to me empty.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I had to sit there till the time the list gets full, like till the time all 25 people have named, like all 25 people have come into have registered for the bus.
Okay.
And they also took down our number just in case we weren't there, or maybe someone had gone to the washroom.
Right.
So after the 25 people were done, we were told to go and sit in a bus. They took our luggage, and after that my journey to Pune had started.
Okay, so how long did it take for you to reach Pune?
Since it was early morning, I took around 2 2 to 2.5 hours to reach Pune.
That was quick enough, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then what about quarantine? Like, as far as I remember, they had to, people coming from overseas had to be quarantined. So what about you?
We were given options like either we want to get quarantine in a hospital or in a hotel. So yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't a compulsion that you have to be in a hospital only or in a hotel only.
No.
Right. Okay. So
obviously many people will choose, like all the people who were with me chose hotels because obviously hospitals are not that safe.
Right. Obviously.
So in case hotels, there were around 4 to 5 star hotels. Like there was Hotel Ginger, Hotel Orchid, Marriott, and yeah, those were some examples of the hotel which were given to us. And price wise, the per day stay was for between 2500 to 3500 rupees.
Okay, so they had reduced the price like drastically, I would say, for a 5-star hotel, because all of the ones that you named are maybe 4-star or 5-star only, right?
Yeah, I think they did that because they were going out of business if they didn't decrease their prices.
Right. So like if you consider all of the hospitals as well and all of the hotels as well, what do you think? I mean, like, are the hotels, as far as you can say from your experience, are the hotels in a good state for the passengers to stay?
I will rate the hotels out of 10, maybe 8, because I think the passengers which were coming from outside, they were giving the lowest quality bedrooms, because just in case if anyone had coronavirus, they will infect the rooms and maybe hotel will lose their money. So I think that room wise they were giving the lowest room. And food wise, like for example, normally when we go and check in hotels, we get breakfast free, right? But in this case, due to this uneven times, we were given breakfast, lunch and dinner for free.
Okay, and that was like included in the price itself.
Yes. And for example, in my case, I used to get breakfast at 8 a.m. in the morning, and then lunch at 1, and then dinner at 8 again at night.
Okay. So what if you felt hungry between these times? Do you have anything to eat?
I didn't have anything to eat, but room service was available, but the menu was really small.
Okay. Right. Okay. That was good. I mean, so how do you rate this government's attempts to, curb this virus? Like, is everything being taken care of for every passenger?
Government is doing their best to prevent the spread of this virus, but as we being the responsible citizens of India, we should also follow them. Like, I saw many people on airport which were which used to adjust their mask using their hands. So that just ruins the point of wearing the mask.
I've seen a lot of people, wearing masks like this. Like they don't cover their nose at times. Maybe that's because their mask slips off their nose, and they're like yeah, right. And
yeah. See, since the journey was really tiring, I think at some point some people were there who gave up. They were like, if it happens to me, okay, I'm so tired, I don't want to deal with it right now. If it happens to me, it happens to me. I cannot do anything. So I think your mentality should be like that you are going to survive this. It is going to be a really long journey, and you should have the mental power to go through it.
Right. Obviously, as you said, I mean, like, that's really true, that as a responsible citizen, it is our duty to maintain social distancing, I would say. That's very correct. Like, that's pretty good. So I mean, like, overall, like, how would you rate this Air India's in terms of like travel, just in travel, not in terms of the hotels and hospital services of government? Talking about Air India, the travel that you had done, like, I don't think you have flew Air India before this, right? This is your first time, right? Oh, I experienced international Air India for the first time when I came back on March in Air India again. And I tell you, like, I did not expect that service because I did not have any kind of, I took the lowest of all the services that I could actually get in Air India. And I really got a good service as compared to what it actually gives in the domestic air region. But really, that's good. So how do you think Air India has taken care of passengers in this pandemic?
So normally when us Indians go from India to US, we always prefer Etihad or Qatar Airways because there is something in that airways which makes us feel special, right? So, but this time Air India really showed that they cared for their passengers and they genuinely wanted us to go back home safely.
Right.
So overall, I'll rate this attempt for out of 9 out of 10 because the food situation, the food situation was like we were given packed food, like 3 Ziploc bags were given. So one Ziploc bag was like some small snacks like some moong dal or etc. like that, and the rest 2 Ziploc bags were proper meals. It had muffins, a veg sub, and a pudding. I don't know. I don't exactly remember all the things, but some part of that was like that. So, and the whole Ziploc bag was covered in a big plastic bag, so no one will touch it.
So
We were also given 2.
Ziploc bags before the start of the flight?
Yes, they were already kept on our seats.
Okay, so that means like you can eat whenever you want to. Like we won't be there to service at that moment. That's
Yeah.
true as well. I mean, they would have to take care of their safety as well.
Yeah, but the food wasn't that good.
It wasn't that good. Okay, right, obviously, but still, let's give them that much freedom, and they're
Yeah.
taking care of us in a really good way. And what about the services like in-flight entertainment? If I consider.
So in-flight entertainment system was disabled because I think
Disabled.
yeah. So people who didn't have anything, I guess they just, I don't know, just daydreamed for 15 hours or just slept for 15 hours. So in-flight entertainment was cancelled. I guess they did that just in case if anyone gets infected and touches the screen. So they will have to change the whole screen, whole system basically, and it will cost them. That's why.
That's true. That's very true. So overall, what do you think? Like, what do you think is traveling in this particular time safe?
I think traveling in this particular time is not at all safe because, as you can see, second waves are coming up in various countries, and in United States also, people are just like they also don't care. Like I saw many people on the airport who were not wearing any masks.
Right.
So if you're traveling, it's a huge risk. So I'll suggest travel only if it's an emergency, and if you're traveling, I'll suggest carry some food.
Right.
Carry an empty bottle because at airports bottled water is not, like, you cannot take water through security.
Right.
So carry an empty bottle. You don't want to waste money on Bisleries. And third will be, don't carry any cash because nobody is accepting any cash.
Right. Right.
All payments have been done. What?
People
What?
have this tendency to always carry more cash when they're traveling.
Yes. So it's practically not useful carrying cash because card payments are pretty convenient to everyone.
Right.
So I suggest don't carry any cash. And for any Indian who is coming back through Vande Bharat mission, I suggest before entering the airport, please carry some Indian rupees because I had the same problem that I didn't have any money. But since I knew someone who had already been through this journey, he told me that after the airport, while we are entering while we are in the bus, they charge us like around 800 to 1000 rupees just for the ticket. So somehow my dad had managed that to give me money. Someone had come at the airport and they gave me the money. But in case you're traveling, carry around 2000 to 3000 rupees.
Right.
just in case.
Like the
And dollars wise,
yeah, like you don't need to carry dollars if you are in the United States. You would suggest people to carry Indian rupees, right?
yes, yes.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So like you don't have to carry like cash in case of dollars, but in case of, like, for example, I had to pay the money in bus, so I don't think they accept any card payments in the bus. So for that, carry cash.
Okay. Okay. So these are like the 4 or 5 tips that you're giving for travel, right?
Yes.
Right. Right. Right.
Food is most important because I really barely survive.
Food is the most important thing here.
So I barely survived. Like I was surviving on 2 coffees and a can of Pringles. So
Right. Right. That might be really tough, man. Like surviving on a Pringle.
I was so scared in the plane that I didn't eat the food given to me by Air India. I waited to come out of the plane, and next day when I reached the hotel, I just I ate the food there.
Oh, so you took out the food from Air India. Okay, so you did not eat anything. You took the whole Ziploc bag with you.
Yes, so they had given us a carry bag to carry stuff like for face shields and masks. So I put the whole the plastic bag in that carry bag, and I carried it everywhere.
Oh, that's nice. So, wow, like this has been a great one, man. Nice. This was interesting, right? This is interesting, but obviously you would just be like, travel only if it's urgent, right?
Yes.
Like that's the most important tip that you would be giving right now.
Yes, but just like me, I would suggest there were people beside me who had more urgency. I was just a student. I would have managed somehow, but there were some people who were out of jobs and stuff.
Right.
So if you are a student like me who is desperate to come back home, so at least make a good mindset that you are going to go through a lot of efforts during this journey. Just don't give up, because if you give up, you will end up in a hospital bed.
Right, that's very true. So just travel safely if it's really important, right?
Yes, and always remember to carry a small bottle of sanitizer in your pocket.
Right, that's again an important tip. Right, that was great. Like, so only travel if it's really necessary. That's what my friends suggest. That's what I'm suggesting. Thank you so much, Chirag. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll have another chat with you. Let's see what we can do in August, whether we'll be able to go back to our university or not. Let's check that. Right? Okay. Thank you so much for joining, Chirag. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. I hope you liked it. You got some travel tips from my friend as well. Travel only if it's really urgent. Everyone knows the current situation. The whole world, I would say, is not really good. Everyone is kind of locked up in their houses. So I would actually suggest you guys to please spend as much time as you can with your family. Everyone needs each other's support. Stay safe, stay healthy, and only travel if it's really urgent.